What a drag it is getting old.
A lot of distortion at the beginning already.
Today. And though she's not really ill, there's a little yellow pill. Mother's little helper and it helps her on her way. Of her mother's little. Oh, what a drag it is. Take more of those, you will get an overdose. No more running. Hey!
So I would say, specifically on the lower end of the register in terms of vocals, a lot of Mick Jagger's parts were doubled, and I don't know who was playing guitar here, but it was like a mix of 6-string and 12-string, and it was like slightly out of tune notes, but it was like that little part that goes like. But it was almost like they were slightly shaking the notes. Like if you went up to the 5th fret here, it's like they were slightly kind of like shaking it almost. I don't know who was playing guitar on this track. But yeah, I don't really know what to make the lyrics of this song. But honestly, also I would have to admit that Charlie Watts does a really good job keeping the rhythm in this song. The whole band is just planted in his drumming, and yeah, like the lyrics I'm not as sure about, but it just sounds like a song that's like, I don't want this to be like controversial or anything, but it just sounds like one of those songs where it's like they're just kind of writing it off the hook, I guess. No pun intended. But yeah, like it just sounds like one of those songs you go into the studio and like, boom, there you go. Like they just kind of wrote it as they were going. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the next song. How are you gonna start a song like that and not expect to get me like straight into it? Nice little background harmonies there. Right off the bat, extremely catchy intro, just a nice little like riff to get it all going, and again, not a lot of fills from Charlie Watts, but he just lays it down on the drums, the whole band following him, I guess. You know, I think this song is kind of from the point of view of the elderly at the time that this was like released, or like, you know, just a lot of older people weren't like used to what was becoming psychedelia and like the flower generation and all that, and I think it's kind of a I don't know, like a song about rebellion, I guess, just from the point of view of someone that's older, I guess. I'm not trying to be like generalizing or anything. It's just that a lot of people at that time, they didn't get it. They were very used to a lot of orchestral arrangements and songs and a lot of more mellow things. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I even like songs that are a lot like that. But they weren't used to such heavy things that would come of psychedelia. And, yeah, I just think that this was a very catchy song. And I know a lot of these Rolling Stones songs have been covered countless times by other artists. But yeah, you just can't beat it. It's like mid-60s. You got the British invasion at basically full swing at this point. You already have the Beatles making a huge hit in North America, and the Rolling Stones are just kind of working their way up there too. And honestly, I think there was something really special about Brian Jones and the band. He just had this kind of charisma with them. It really made them sound like very close to you. Like, I guess, I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it. It's just they have a certain sound with Brian Jones that I just really am, like, attracted to those years of the band. So, let's get into the next song. Lady Jane's already getting out to a good start. Sounds like some background 12-string there.
I see you again, Lady Jane.
Kind of left it off on an A minor chord. Very medieval sounding, slowed down from comparing to the other two tracks, Stupid Girl and Mother's Little Helper. But yeah, it sounded like, again, there was a 12-string in the background and then a 6-string kind of closer to you in the mix. And while the 6-string was doing some kind of like a D to C back to D kind of chord progression, I wasn't paying that much attention to what the 6-string was doing as much, but the 12-string farther behind, it was kind of doing a more so walk down from the 3rd fret on the A string down to the 2nd fret of the A string, and just giving it kind of this like same key, different, I don't know, just a really cool droning sound, I guess. But when I use the term like droning, it can be used in almost a like heavy context, but also a more mellow context, depending on what like genre, I guess. I don't really know what the lyrics were about. It sounded like some kind of like medieval feast. I don't know. Yeah. Like, I might search up the lyrics here. So, yeah. So the lyrics are, "My sweet Lady Jane, when I see you again, your servant am I, and will humbly remain. Just heed this plea, my love, on bended knees, my love. I pledge myself to Lady Jane." Who is Lady Jane? That's the main question. I'm assuming it's some kind of like a lover context. Like, I'll never leave you, I'll travel with you, I'll like stay with you forever. And I think this is kind of the Rolling Stones with lyrics that are more Beatles-esque. Early Beatles, like not later Beatles. By this point they were out of that like love, I don't know what you'd call it. Like, most other early songs by the Beatles are more like directed towards like love and having a girl, and like a lot of this stuff like much more pop sounding, but still good songs. And yeah, I don't really know what else to make of the lyrics other than it's like a love song of some kind, and yeah, maybe like an ex-lover song, like kind of from the point of view that you're gonna leave someone and but I guess I wouldn't be talking of them like this in the song, if that was what it was about. But it's just because it says, I must take my leave, for promised I am, this play is run, my love, your time has come, my love. So, the end, or, yeah. Before we get into this song, I just wanted to clarify that I have heard part of this song before, but I did really enjoy what I heard. It's one of my favorite Stones songs. And this is Under My Thumb with the classic vibraphone riff and all of that. So let's get into it.
Once had me
That bass is strong, like right now. Nice little breakdown here. Stripping it down to the basic instruments. First off, so much soul in Mick Jagger's voice here. He just carries the song with his belting, I don't know, like, I wouldn't say he screams, but just the emotion he puts into his voice. And some of the performances he has, it just proves that sometimes you don't have to be the most trained singer. Sometimes it's just about how much you try, how much emotion you put into it. And I noticed that about, I would say like 25 seconds into the song, the bass really picks up in volume, becoming a lot more distorted. I believe it was panned to the left channel. But I noticed that a lot of songs from this era in music had kind of distorted bass, very loud in the mix, and really addictive, like vibraphone line, like I was talking about. Cool acoustic guitar part. I loved that little breakdown they did. They kind of stripped the song down to its original elements. The drums and the acoustic guitar. I believe it might have been the vibraphone too. And yeah, just amazing song. Easily one of my favorite Rolling Stones songs. And yeah, let's keep it going with Doncha Bother Me. Taking a more bluesy approach. I noticed the drumming effects used in this song are very similar to the soundtrack of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly main theme. Just the kind of really distant, reverby sound. Just gave it a very bluesy, kind of like a desert feel. The lyrics to this song sound like he's trying to escape from something. It's like when he's saying like Doncha Bother Me, it's like you've had a long day, you just want to go home, and you don't want to be bothered at all. It's kind of like an escape from regular life, really. And I just think this was kind of a fun bluesy song to keep the album rolling. And with that, we're going to go straight into Going Home. Sorry, I know the review for this song wasn't too long, but really nice slide guitars and other things. So let's end it off with Going Home. A lot of reverb and delay on that guitar. Really nice harmonica. Sort of reminds me of Spoonful by Cream. Some clean guitar fills. Such a simple melody, but it's really effective. You can hear that higher register piano in the back. It sounds like they're gonna do the same thing with Midnight Rambler, where they kind of speed it up. Bass is much cleaner in this song. Whenever that guitar tone is used in Rolling Stone songs, I always think of the intro to How Soon Is Now by the Smiths. The intro to that song. I think that guitar tone was kind of derived from the Rolling Stones. I have two very different ideas of what this song is about.